Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Muscatine. Am I looking this way? The Muscatine Today Show. Oh, you can't hear me. Headphones. Suit up. Air traffic control is giving me the signal. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Muscatine Today Show. I'm your guest host, Jordan Lloyd from the Iowa Center of Economic Success. Today, I've got some pretty cool guests. One that actually closely relates to me because it is the CEO and president of my new position. So, the Iowa Center of Economic Success. So, first and foremost, let me thank our sponsors for the show. Hy-Vee, Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Rivo Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Suntan City, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, and Harper's Cycling and Fitness. So thank you guys, as always, every day for making this show possible. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So we're on Vimeo virtual call today with Megan Milligan of the Iowa Center for Economic Success and Chris Anderson, obviously our head honcho here for Pearl City Media. So I'm going to let you guys kind of take it over. Megan, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Iowa Center and its expansion to Muscatine?
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Yes, you are our latest and greatest and awesomest new team member, and we're excited to have you. For the last, since 2014, essentially, the Iowa Center has been completely focused on helping people start and grow small business. And while our services have been statewide, our boots on ground have always been right in downtown Des Moines, so much more logistically accessible for Central Iowans. And that's kind of been a pressure point that, save for the 2 years of the pandemic, a lot of people like to see each other face to face. And how did we right that wrong? So the Iowa Center, like I said, helps people start and grow small business. We do it through classes and coaching. So we provide classes and coaching to small business owners or small business aspirants. You're thinking you want to launch a business, you don't quite know how or what it should be. We're your people. You're already in the middle of owning a business. You want to scale up, you want to grow it, you want to do it right. We're also your people. And then on the asset development side, we do free tax prep and planning year round through the Iowa Center. And then with 27 partners, we also manage the VITA program, which is the Volunteer Income Tax Program across the state of Iowa. And then in addition to that, we also do microlending. So we are a CDFI. There's 3 different ways to be a regulated small business lender. You can be a bank, you can be a credit union, or you can be a CDFI. And so the Iowa Center has our own portfolio of funds that we're able to lend out at a competitive rate to small business owners. A couple years ago, we got a call from the Muscatine Community Foundation that the Stanley family had bequeathed a large gift to the Iowa Center in their estate. Mr. Stanley had been on our board years ago, and he remembered us. And so it was just awesome. And that really launched a strong relationship with the Community Foundation. We were already serving clients in Muscatine and the surrounding area, but didn't have our own direct relationship staff-wise. So we built a relationship with Charlotte. She really became an advocate for us, and then started introducing us to a couple other partners around the area. So when the funds arrived, an opportunity presented itself to expand to a second location. Charlotte was our first call. She connected us with the community college and the economic development group. And we were able to start the process of finding out if we could have boots on ground. And their role was to help us find space, help us find clients, help us find our new killer Jordan. And we just opened, was it last week, Jordan, that we just opened shop? Yep. And so now, again, Jordan will be able to help us triage our clients. So people who call in and think they might want one service, Jordan's specialty is to find out what they really, truly need and connect them to the right people to help them, whether it's our internal team or our team of professional volunteers. And then eventually she'll be hosting in-person classes and coaching as well as our virtual classes. We are still virtual, although we'll be unwrapping the live in-person stuff here pretty soon. But Muscatine was the natural fit for a couple of reasons. We tell our clients that you scale up. You don't just go from making something in your basement and then signing a $2,500 a month lease. You figure out if you can do a pop-up or borrow space from somebody else, those kinds of things. So we practice what we preach. And we looked at who is a community that's ready to help us, to join us, to partner with us. So we're not forcing our way in, going where we're not welcome, but also don't have the long-term financial, emotional, logistical support. And so we knew we had that with the team in Muscatine. But then we also saw the need. I mean, your community is just awesome with the small businesses, that long list of sponsors that you gave at the beginning. And so we know that Muscatine is already behind small business and economic development. And Chris will talk here soon. He's a picture of all of that, of entrepreneurialism as a way, a path towards community success and personal success. And so, it seemed like the right fit. It felt like it wasn't forced. It felt like the community had an opening for the services that we offer, but we also knew that it was important to have somebody from Muscatine be there. So it wasn't just a bunch of people from another random part of the state coming in and providing the services. So that's where you come in, Jordan.
Yes, and I am super, super, super excited about all of this. And every time, just as I talk with people in Muscatine and just kind of, they're like, what are you doing now? What's your new job? I find myself getting very excited telling them, not just, from a personal standpoint, but from the small business community here in Muscatine, right? So, I mean, we already have so many existing small businesses, but I know so many people that want to expand their small business or start another one, or, somebody that's been a full-time worker, somewhere here in Muscatine, and now they want to finally make their hobby that they've been, just like selling on Facebook and stuff, a real thing, right? So it just makes me very excited. But Chris, go ahead and kind of, give your perspective or ask Megan what, you want to ask her.
Well, what I've loved about this, it kind of came across my desk a while ago with some info from Charla. And I'll be honest, I didn't entirely grasp what all it was at that time. And then, as you and I started talking over the last couple of weeks, like, holy cow, this is exactly what we need. It really complements a lot of the stuff we do from the marketing operations side for small businesses on the Pearl City Media side, but also from the Discover Muscatine News side, where we're helping promote the small businesses and the people that support the small businesses. And so Megan and I actually got a chance to talk the other day, and it's amazing how well their core mission and their core skill sets line up with what Muscatine needs. And I think what amazes me about that is, I was on the board of the History and Industry Center for a long time. And, so we know the entrepreneurial history of Muscatine, going back to whether it was timber, pearls, and then, the classic ones that we have now, the Stanley Consultants, the H&Is, the GPCs, Kents, like that whole group. It's all entrepreneurial-based carvers. Don't want to forget Band Egg. And so just seeing this, culture that's been here and a way to support it, which is, there's a lot of small businesses that can use a little bit of help here and there. They don't always need a ton, but what I love about how you guys do it is you don't force yourself on people. You're there. You're kind of like what we try and do on our side. We're like, we'll give you the parts you need, not the parts you don't, and away we go. And that is super exciting for me. And it's exciting for me to be able to help support you guys and make sure that everybody in town knows what you guys are doing, what Jordan's doing, and what's available to them. So, Megan, I think one of the things that you and I talked about the other day that I thought was really worthy of like a little bit more explanation for everybody is the concept of funding, right? Like, how do you take that idea? Where do you get funding? What are some sources? And how do you guys help guide them through that? If you can just kind of give like a little bit of an idea of like, I've got something in my garage, I might want to start looking at something like that. What are the next steps they take?
So through our microloan program, there's quite a few steps. People might call us and think that $25,000 loan is just what they need to get to that next place that they're trying to get to, or to bail them out of a jam because it's really hard and really expensive to start a business. And our philosophy is debt is for growth, not for saving. not for saving you, not for bailing you out. It's for growth. So we really do an analysis with the client to determine that they're on a growth trajectory, because debt is a burden no matter what. And we don't necessarily at the Iowa Center want to be a part of piling on another $50,000 worth of debt that keeps somebody awake at night and they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay it off. So the first thing is really an analysis of, is that 50,000 or that 10,000 or that 20,000 going to go towards growing your organization and taking you to that next step? If it's not, then we start to help you figure out how to find capital other ways, whether it's scaling up from one employee. You think you're going to go to 2, but really you should stay at 1 for a while. Really, you should keep your day job and not have your business be your whole income. Taxes, keeping more of what you earn and filing properly so that you can figure out, do you need a bigger lump sum each month, or do you like to use the federal government as a way to lock some money away and get a big refund each year? So those are the things we look at. So anybody who comes through the door and wants to apply for a loan, we do that analysis. If we think that they are on the trajectory to apply for a loan, then they do a program that we call Always Ready. So every loan applicant must go through this 1-hour session called Always Ready. During the PPP situation, we found that so many businesses might have qualified for that PPP emergency pandemic funding, but they couldn't get it because they didn't have their financials ready and they didn't have access immediately to an accountant that could help them get them ready. And so they lost out on that opportunity. And so through the Always Ready program, we're able to help you understand the financials that you should always have. You should always have them, whether you're applying for a loan, an emergency grant, or just because it's a Tuesday in May, you should have your financial house in order. So you go through the hour-long group class, and then we offer one-on-one coaching afterwards if you really need help doing the P&L statements, working on your budget, finding your projections, and all that. We have real, live, breathing, active accountants that can sit down with you and go through those numbers, all for free. Once that's all done, and you actually have your financials ready, then you start the loan application process. Our philosophy at the Iowa Center is that once you're able to apply for and receive a loan from the Iowa Center, you should know how to apply for a loan at a bank, and you should know what to expect from a bank. So our interest rates are between 4 and 6%. You still have to have a competitive credit score. And you still have to be able to fill out the application properly and be able to show that you're cash flowing and that this loan is going to, again, go towards growth. So this isn't a grant program and this isn't a charity program. This is a business program, and it's to make sure that people can thrive. Again, I can't say it enough, thrive under the pressure of carrying debt. And so that's the thing. So if you are a guy who has this fantastic thing that you're doing out of your garage and you have a huge client base, and the only thing holding you back from becoming mainstream and totally well known in your community is that injection of capital, then we will work with you through that process to apply for and hopefully receive that injection of capital through a loan from the Iowa Center. We also couple with banks for those people who are looking for that big mortgage. They can qualify for the big mortgage from your community bank, but you're not going to get it unless you can prove that you have working capital. So we do a lot of those partner loans where the bank might provide the mortgage and then we provide the working capital, and both institutions, us and that bank, pull the trigger at the same time. But again, like I said, we see a lot of people that are still kind of grassroots and they think maybe it's that big wad of cash that's going to change things, but we work with them to figure out how to scale up in a way that's sustainable so that they can have this business for as long as they want to, and that they are able to eventually support themselves, their families, and their community through this business without adding a huge load of stress on their shoulders.
It's actually fun to hear you talk about it that way, because we actually even talk about that with the marketing side for folks. Sometimes they think, oh, if I just go spend a bunch on Google ads, or if I go spend this and, oh, it'll generate this much dollars in revenue week 1. And, rarely does it actually happen that way. You all hope it does. And we all see the numbers out there on everybody's blog about, oh, if you've got a click-through rate of this, and if you've got a conversion rate of this, here's your dollars, and it'll all work, just go. Well, yeah, to a point that's true, but the reality is you've got to scale it. Oftentimes we do talk people out of marketing a little bit, because one of the other things that you can actually hurt yourself more. And I'll be honest, I've done this from time to time, is where you overestimate your capacity, right? So like you think, oh yeah, if I advertise this or something like that, that'll be great. And then all of a sudden you have all this stuff to do, you've got all these orders, but then you can't fulfill them. And that actually makes things worse in the long run, right? And so I love how you guys take this. I don't even know if it's balanced, and it's not conservative. I don't know exactly what the word to describe it is, but it's this effective growth model that lets people take on a perspective that they aren't used to doing, right? Especially if they're moving from garage to business, right? Because it's a totally different point of view. So I think that's exciting, and I love that the things that we talk about with clients will line up with what you guys talk about.
Yeah. Well, we try to, and it sounds like you do too, protect people from themselves sometimes. It's tempting for all of us to think the answer is outside of us. If I could just have this or just do that. But really, it just goes back to the old 1950s model of rolling up your sleeves and working your tail off. And we call it calibrated growth. But, just being really sensible about it so that it can be sustainable.
And I think, a huge thing just in my short week and a half thus far with you guys has been, and just, talking with you guys and learning all the programs like Always Ready, Dream Builder, all those different things, and just in talking with the different coaches and things like that, is that it's not like you come to the Iowa Center, you schedule an appointment, and you go, hey, this is what my business is, or this is what I'm doing in my garage. I want to make it this. And then you guys do it for them, right? You equip them and empower them with the resources, the tools, the knowledge to let them do it themselves. And I think that's a huge thing, because it's the same thing, with, I'm trying to think of a good example, but if I need help on my math homework and you do the problems for me, or just go, well, this is the answer, and just kind of help me a little bit, I'm not going to learn math for the test, right? But if you go, you put the question back on me and you're like, all right, think through this. I know the answer and I can help, but we need to get you to learn the answer versus just giving it to you, right? And I think that's a huge thing that you guys do. And I think that's what's awesome, because then it's more sustainable. They have more invested in it because they've put the work in. And, if they put the work in to get their business to where they want it to be, they're only gonna run and go from there. So I think that's a huge thing that the Iowa Center does well, is that they give people the tools, and they're there for them as a support system and a knowledge base, but they don't do it for them, right? They make them do it themselves, but they give them all the tools to do it correctly and set them up for success. And I think that's probably what inspires me most, right? So
awesome. Yep.
Yay.
Well said, Jordan.
Well, thank you. Chris,
Sorry,
do you have anything else?
I don't, other than I'm really excited about this. I mean, I think, the community needs it. I think you've got a lot of the right partners. Charlotte and I actually got to talk yesterday about some of the original connection with Dick and Mary Jo and some of that stuff, which totally made sense once I heard it, right? And so I think you're going to do a great job of being available for people, and also helping connect them with other people in the community that they need, whether it's like getting them to be a guest on the show, or whether it's to get Margaret to write a story about them, or have, whatever that case may be. So, and I really do want to thank Megan for the confidence in Muscatine, and the belief that we can do this because we can. And it's going to be fun to see what comes out of this. I can already think of probably 9 or 10 clients off the top of my head that we can start moving your direction. So.
Well, that's awesome, Chris. I appreciate the endorsement and the support. And today has been fun. And I'm excited to meet you in person soon. And Jordan, we're going to see you next week. I can't wait. So thank you, everybody, for this comment and the strategic support.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Adios.
Have a good day.
See you guys.
We are going to go to commercial, guys. And we will be right back with Jamie, and we'll talk a little bit with her. Okay.
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota of Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Thank you for sticking with us today. It was awesome to talk to Megan, and have her even share the perspective of the Iowa Center. Obviously, their home office is in Des Moines. I guess I can say our home office is in Des Moines now. But I am so excited about this expansion. I've been talking to people about it every single day. I have like an elevator pitch, right, for when people are like, Jordan, what's your new job? Like, what does the Iowa Center do? And I'm like, let me tell you, because it's awesome, and I think it's really going to benefit Muscatine and just be a great resource for individuals, entrepreneurs, and just the small business community here in Muscatine. So now we're going to shift gears a little bit. Jamie from the Community Foundation is here, and we are going to talk to her about the new clinic opening. So take it away, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Jordan.
Yes.
And first, I just want to say congratulations on your new role with the Iowa Center for Economic Success.
I'm excited. We're excited to pair with you guys, right?
Yeah.
I met with Charla yesterday, and we just kind of talked about, from their perspective, being here, I'm the only person from the Iowa Center in Muscatine right now. So I need some ties in Muscatine to be like, okay, I'm here to support you, right? Because the Iowa Center is doing a phenomenal job doing that for me too. But I need somebody here on the ground, and Charla, is going to be great with that. So we're excited to pair with you, and obviously all the amazing things you're doing for Muscatine. So tell us what you've got going on.
All right. Well, I'd like to start with the history of the clinic building, because the collaborative approach to our community healthcare system developed by the visionaries before us is truly unique to our community. The existing facility was built back in the early 70s, so almost 50 years ago now. And it was a result of local business and industry leaders coming together, recognizing the need for quality primary health care in our community, and raising the funds necessary to construct the clinic facility. And they established a nonprofit at that time, which later became known as the Muscatine Health Support Foundation. And the nonprofit owned the clinic building, partnered with the providers and leased the building to the providers, and then a significant portion of those rental dollars were then granted back into the community towards health-focused initiatives. So in 2017, when the Muscatine Health Support Foundation dissolved, they transitioned their assets to the Community Foundation. They established the Muscatine Health Support Fund and entrusted us with the responsibility to carry their legacy forward. So that's how the Community Foundation came to own the clinic building.
Well, they made a good choice in who to give that to and kind of trust with that.
So to date, $6 million has been granted back into the community towards projects, programs, and equipment that further develop our local healthcare system.
That's amazing.
So it's a really innovative, special granting model, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So the existing facility has served our community well over the past 47 years.
Yeah.
It provides internal medicine, family practice, pediatrics, gynecology, surgery services, averages 50,000 visits a year. But a lot's changed in healthcare over that time. And so the Community Foundation, in conjunction with the Muscatine Health Support Fund Committee and our partners at Unity Point Health, who operate the facility, all agreed that a new modern facility would best meet our long-term goals, which really remain the same as they did 47 years ago. We want a safe, nice, modern, updated facility for the residents of Muscatine County to have access to quality primary health care. and aid the recruitment and retention of providers to our rural community.
Yeah, that's amazing. So with this change and stuff, I don't know, when is it opening? You know, kind of tell me a little bit about what's the trajectory on everything.
Yeah, so we're currently still in the design development.
Okay.
And so we expect that we will be breaking ground. The current timeline is this summer in July.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And then what they call substantial completion. I'm learning all my,
your P's and
construction and development language.
Big words.
That's expected in October of 2023, when Unity Point will actually be in the new facility and operating. Okay. So the new facility will be 3 floors. It will remain connected to Unity Point Health Trinity Muscatine Hospital, so that'll provide, easy access to labs and radiology and inpatient and outpatient services. And it's going to be adjacent to the existing clinic building, so that will allow for the current clinic to remain in open while the new one's being constructed, which is really nice.
Okay, that's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah.
And that's like, we say it like it's just so and there's what it is, but that's amazing. 50,000 clients. And when you get an updated facility, that's even bigger, imagine how many people you're going to touch then, right?
Yeah, because, it was intentionally built to be bigger. It's about 12,000 square feet larger than the existing facility, because with the intention for growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you have an idea like that comes about 47 years ago, and it's brought into fruition and it just blossoms and just helps people, you can't do anything but go up. So that's amazing, and I appreciate all you guys do. I appreciate what happened in the 70s, that it came about, and that it's just been cared for and cultivated up until now, and when it's in your guys' hands, and that you're just taking it and running with it, as you do with everything. So that's amazing.
And we're grateful for all the community support. We've already had some generous commitments and donors. We have obviously Unity Point Health is going to remain our partner, and they'll continue to lease the building from us long term. We have Roy J. Carver Charitable Trust committed a significant amount, a generous amount to the project. The Howe Foundation has granted a generous donation. Muscatine County actually committed $875,000 from their ARPA funding towards the project, and Kent Corporation recently announced that they'll match community donations dollar for dollar up to $4 million.
Oh my God.
So we're really grateful for all the support.
Yeah, right? I'll also do that. No, I'm just kidding. My bank account would not allow up to that amount by any means. So if people want to, especially with that match, amazing from Kent, and all of the commitments of everybody, right? That's one of the coolest things, and I tell people this all the time about Muscatine, is how people get behind things so easily, right? You come and you go, here's what's happening, this is why it's going to help the community, and you've got people, calling right away, knocking on your door, going, how can I help? Financially, volunteer-wise, anything like that. And it's just amazing. It's really cool to see such a small but big enough community that is very localized. And I think, going back to the Iowa Center too, I think that's why they chose to come here, right? Like Megan alluded to that, that it's just a great community.
It really is.
And it's very interconnected while being big enough to sustain bigger projects, like what we're talking about, and that's awesome. So if people want to make, a community donation, whether it's their small business or, a bigger business or just an individual, how can they do that?
They can visit us at the Community Foundation. We're at 104 West 2nd Street, right next to the Chamber.
Yep.
We actually have a page dedicated to the project on our website, and there's an opportunity to donate through that page as well. And please, if anybody has any questions or wants more information, please feel free to reach out to me.
Yep, that's awesome. Well, amazing. Do you have anything else you want to add? That's pretty big and pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
no, thank you for this opportunity to share about it.
Thank you for coming and joining us on this kind of nice, kind of rainy. I don't know what today is going to be, but I think it's going to be a
Typical
great day.
spring day, and
right?
yeah.
A great day regardless. You know, you can get these pink polka dot plants to brighten your office up on rainy days like today at your Hy-Vee. And yeah, so thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Jordan.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the Community Foundation does, you know, in partnership with the Iowa Center, with the new clinic, with everything, you know, you guys give back to Muscatine. It's just amazing.
Thank you. I feel privileged to work there.
Yes.
So
yeah,
thank you.
awesome. So I wish you guys, I don't have any national days today that are worth mentioning really, other than it's Thursday, it's almost Friday, and you have the opportunity to go out today, be kind to someone. If you're going through a drive-through, buy the person behind you's drink or lunch or whatever it is. Do something good. Spread the word of the Community Foundation and the Iowa Center coming to Muscatine, and just be nice to everybody and have an amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
We've all been through a lot, and along the way you find out who really cares for you and who you can trust. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in life, like those days when the amazing happens, or those days that are really, really hard. That's why you need someone like Unity Point Health. Because when it comes to your health, you gotta have someone you can trust. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.